How's it going? Okay, so hopefully I'm not too loud. Hopefully I'm not peaking. It's been a while. It has been a while, and man, does it feel good to be back at a desk uh, on a microphone. I'm sure it sounds better too. Anyways, I have to make this quick because I have to go soon, but I just want to talk about something that's been on my mind lately, and it really bothers me, and I don't know why. Because it's actually good for me. Sorry, I'm not sick. My nose is just stuffy for some reason. But I'm not. I don't know why I'm so upset about it because it's something that should be good for me. And it's the fact that people in my industry, in what I want to do, the creator space, are so fucking stupid. It is unfucking believable. I know that's really aggressive and really harsh, but it's just true. Like every every time I see a creator, they're and this is more specifically about quote unquote Instagram creators, where they make their cinematic reels. It just like I don't even know how to explain it. It's the concept of creating a following based off of cinematic reels is so fucking stupid. First of all, there's no substance whatsoever. Your following is short term. There's no depth. There's no trickle down. People don't give a fuck about you or what you accomplish or what you're going to do or what you're planning on doing. None of it. There is no loyalty. There is no attachment. So, and I've seen it firsthand. Now that I've had the chance to work in the industry, it just everything's so clear to me, and the holes and like the immaturity and the relatively young age of this industry, and there's a gaping hole in the fact that these creators find their success, they find their footing, and they do it over and over and over again. And the problem is, you're not building anything doing that. Like when I had my job, we were trying to build a business off of 30-second Instagram reel tips and tricks to grow accounts. There's no business in that. You are not, the only business you're getting is consulting. And, we tried to build a brand based off of those reels and then eventually create courses, merchandise lines, and like none of that works. It just doesn't. It makes no sense, and it will never, ever in a million years work unless you are putting yourself in those videos very, very personally. And at that point, it can't even be tips and tricks to grow account because it's so corporate, right? It just feels so distant from the viewer compared to the creator. The creator's like, oh, well, I'm putting myself in it. People are going to attach to it. No, man. There's just so much competition. Nobody has, one, the attention span, and two, the time, or even want to put in the effort to know about you. So you have to put in the effort for them to find out about you through the material they watch. So if we were to keep going down that route and we wanted to build something personal, we wanted a truly loyal fan base. By the way, I hope this music that I'm listening to isn't going through the mic. But oh my god, we would have had to shift into personal conversations, lessons not about how to grow accounts, but how to grow as a person. And then your demographic becomes different at that point. So you lose the people you had already, and none of it works. None of it translates. And that takes me to my bigger issue. Now, creating short form content and focusing on one aspect of your work. So creating a reel and making it cinematic, trying your best to hone that cinematic skill, whether that's color grading, framing, lighting, so on and so forth. That's a really, really fantastic way to grow and develop and hone your skills in that specific avenue you're working on in that specific reel. And because it's short form, you can make a ton of them. Almost like you can just like make an endless amount, and it really does hone your skill, and it's very, very beneficial for developing as a creator. I firmly believe that. And I think that's what these bigger creators don't understand. Reels and any short form content is great for learning, great for developing. That is the purpose of them. They're highly engaging if you make them, and they have a very strong rate of success so long as they're good. But never, ever, ever, ever will they do a good enough job of providing value to your viewer. I don't care who you are. You can put a little charm, you can put a little personality, you can put a bit of you, and that can really attach people to you in the short term. Keyword is short term. Short content, short term. That's exactly what this is. Now, that is the tool of short form content. That is the purpose. And these guys do not know or understand how to use them, despite the fact that they're quote unquote content professionals, like content creators. They do not understand how to use Reels, YouTube Shorts as a tool. They just don't. I'm sorry. They have no fucking idea what they're doing. They will create their business around shorts. And I can't begin to explain to you how unsustainable that is and how unreliable that becomes. Because I don't care who you are, there comes a point where you're going to make a fucking sleeper reel, a reel nobody gives a shit about. And that could be for many reasons. I'm not even going to dive into it because that'll get me on a side tangent. But you will create a reel nobody cares about. And people don't follow you because they want to see your reels. They follow you because one reel you made really well. And maybe there'll be another that can compare, but they don't give a fuck to see the rest. They really don't. And if they do, they're doing quick scrolls down your feed, and maybe 1 or 2, 3 will capture their attention, but that's it. It's nothing but short-term attention. What they're really doing is scrolling on their recommended, on their homepage. They want what's new, and they want what's funny, and they want what's best. That is all there is. They don't care who it's from, who's doing it, the name attached to it, the brand attached to it. None of that matters. It's all about what they see at a first glance. So these people that find success in one reel and then create that reel or that style over and over and over and over again. I'll give an example with these cinematic reels. They just do and pump out these cinematic reels over and over again. And they're very, very talented, but they just don't understand how social media works. I ask anyone that's short form focused, or more so these cinematic reel people, because that's more so the topic of discussion and more of what I know about. But what is your goal? What really is your goal? To just capture short-term attention over and over and over again? Well, what are you going to build off of that? Where's the longevity? Where's the long-term plan in that? Because you might say, oh, my numbers are going up, this is going up. But what's going to come from that? Yeah, you'll get some brands reaching out to you. But then this is where the topic of, a true creator versus a brand-oriented creator comes in. If you are truly a creative person, you're going to live a creative lifestyle in which you don't give a fuck about the numbers. You don't give a fuck about the attention. You're doing things because you want to grow and become better at what you do. Then I commend you because you're rare and you are a true creator. So whoever you are, if anyone's watching this or listening to this, keep doing that if that applies to you. And there's brand-oriented creators, or barely even creators, but more strategic business people in the creator space. And these people are brand-focused. They'll make the same thing that gets attention over and over and over again because they want brand, they want quick income, and they want the recognition from and reputation from peers around them, but they don't want to work for it. That's the difference. And so this is where I get frustrated. But before I go on another tangent, let me reel it back. So that brings me to the shift. You know, at every Instagram creator's point in their journey, they realize that, okay, I have lightning in a bottle here with some of these reels, and I have 400, 100, 200, 300, 400K followers. But this isn't long term. And they realize that. They fully realize that. And they say, oh shit, I need to make some money. I need to transition this into something different. Like, I can't sustain my lifestyle just posting Instagram reels. And if you ever thought you could do that, I'm sorry. Really fucking stupid. Anyways, then they say, okay, well, what are my options? I can shift into maybe filmmaking. This is for cinematic reel people, by the way. I can shift to filmmaking. Maybe I want to get into the film industry, and now I can use all these reels as my portfolio, which is not a bad idea. Or I can turn it into something of a business. Maybe do some adventures with some people, and, brand work or whatever it is. Or they'll go and do the most common yet I don't know the right word for this, but yet to be figured out route, which is transitioning to YouTube. Now, this is going to get me really fucking frustrated because these guys, this is what they do. And it's I don't understand the lapse in common sense here, but they go to YouTube and they start producing long form content. Now, first of all, I'm sure if you looked at any of their YouTube channels, the first thing you'll notice is that they pull no numbers. Put some echo effect on that to really amplify. No numbers. Why is that? Because again, this is short-term attention and people don't care about them. People care about the one video they saw from them. So, how do you get them to move? Well, simply put, you really don't. Unless you are a personal-based creator, aka Charlie D'Amelio, where your fans are attached to you, everything you do. At the forefront of all of it is you and your life, your personality. Then the push is great. The push can, you can do whatever the fuck you want with those kids. But if you're not, if you're a cinematographer like half of what seems like Instagram at this point, and you make great looking footage, but you have no substance, there is no push. And unfortunately, while it is a great a head start to have some followers, maybe 1% return to your long form, the issue comes retaining that 1% that does transition, because what these guys do is they say, okay, well, here's what I'm good at: making things look cinematic, making you feel something through cinematography or whatever the fuck, and providing no substance. Anyways, they point out all the parts that worked on Instagram, and they go, oh, well, if that worked on Instagram, then people will definitely want to see this on YouTube. Like, I don't know if that's actually what they think, but if that's really fucking stupid. But what they do is they create content that looks exactly like their Instagram on YouTube. And I mean right down to the lack of fucking storytelling. Shit looks beautiful. It's well edited. Expensive looking. Like, they got great equipment. It's maybe a minute long, but there is no story. Fuck. There is no substance. There is no value. I've looked at so many of these fucking pages, and they all get the same reaction out of me. I watch it and I say, wow, that was beautiful. And I never watch their page again, because I didn't learn anything. I didn't feel like I've gained anything from watching it, other than saying, yeah, they're good at making things look nice. That's about it. So it just blows my mind. Now, the and I don't know. I don't know if it's because they've done those reels for so long that they don't know how else to do anything, or maybe they're scared to try something new and they've become so comfortable doing the same thing that they're scared to get out of their comfort zone and make something that is going to be bad. Like, if you've done something for so long and you try to break out of that habit, break out of that shell or mold that people expect of you and you've created for yourself. I'm not saying it's always going to be bad, but it's almost like starting all over again and learning a new skill set. You're going to make some shit. So maybe that scares them. Or maybe simply put, they don't understand how social media works. The audience from Instagram to YouTube, they might be the same people, but they expect different things. And rightfully so. They want to see different things. If I want to see cinematic reels, where am I going to go? If I want to see cinematic looking footage and do it really quickly, where am I going to go? I'm going to go on Instagram. I'm never looking for that on YouTube. If I want to see something cinematic on YouTube, I'm expecting there to be some substance, some story attached to that. I don't want this fluffy, duffy, fucking stupid bullshit. I just saw one the other day. It was an advertisement for a Sony camera, which I get is appropriate because you're just showing off the Sony camera. So they made, I think they went to, it's called the Africas, right? It's called the Africas. I don't remember who it's by, but it was a stunning video. But that's all it was. It's just a stunning video. So, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. These guys go to YouTube, and that's the shit they make. Or they go to YouTube and they start doing tech reviews and camera equipment reviews and beginner guides and all this junk, man. It's just junk. It's noise. You are not pushing the needle. And that's what I can't stress enough. Before I get into what you should be doing, first and foremost, in anything you do, you need to be doing it the best you can. And the best you can, more often than not, is in comparison to the people around you. You want to be doing it better than they are. That might not be possible at a certain moment. Maybe because you don't have budget, maybe because you don't have proper gear or knowledge, and that's fine. But your goal should always be to be better than everyone else, simply put. You want to push the needle. You want to drive the industry. That is the goal you should always have. Now, what you should be doing is creating completely different content. If you make cinematic reels, do not, and that's okay if you do on Instagram, do not, and I can't stress that enough, do not make cinematic videos on YouTube. Sit back down, say, what do I watch on YouTube? Okay, that's the first thing you gotta do. What do I watch on YouTube? What do I watch on whatever other platform you're going for? And start, I'm not saying do this forever because you shouldn't, but start by doing something similar to someone you watch, because more often than not, the people you watch are closely related to your likes and the things you do and the things you're interested in. It's similar, your values, what you prioritize in videos and stuff like that. It always matches. So you might find that trying to make something similar to one of their videos lines up pretty closely to what you're eventually going to form into your own style. Okay? And after that, you need to ask, what's the long-term goal? What am I trying to do? What story am I trying to tell? And usually if you have a YouTube channel with your name in it, you're most likely trying to tell your story. And that story evolves as the viewers watch. So it's a real-time story. And that's the kind of stuff you have to make if you want longevity in this game. You cannot produce content without substance on YouTube. It's just not how that works. And I'm not saying you have to do any personal stuff. You can shift into documentaries. Like a good example, Lemino. There was a new guy I just watched. He did a documentary on how Snapchat pays its content creators, which is a great. I recommend everyone watch that. You know, you could do stuff like that, or you find your footing, but you have to understand. They literally, the work you do between Instagram and YouTube, literally almost can't be related at all. It really has to be separate, and that's not a bad thing. Like, my philosophy, what am I saying? And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just gonna take a lot more work, and whether you want to do that work or not is up to you. But understand, if you don't want to do that work, it's not gonna work out. You know, people are not going to flock to your YouTube channel if you're doing the same things you're doing on Instagram. There's just no reason and no value to. There's no value to. There's probably so many more points I can get into, but I have to go. It's already past the time I'm supposed to start getting ready to leave. But this is the biggest hole I see right now. These guys don't know how to flip-flop between the two platforms. They have no fucking idea what the fuck they're doing. And I'm competing. This is the way I see it. I'm competing with a lot of people I follow on Instagram. The people I follow on Instagram are on my hit list, and they're first on my hit list before the people on YouTube, because the people on YouTube, I know for a fact, is going to take a lot longer to get to them. But the people on Instagram, oh, I could fucking kill them. Oh, I could fucking kill them. So, watch me do it. You know, you want a good example? I'm sure there's plenty out there. I think Docs is a great example of what to do and how to do it. Or you could watch me do it, because I'm going to take over, and all these fucking stupid ass creators, man. These fucking stupid. I'm not talking about the ones that really love what they do. I'm talking about these brand oriented creators that think they can shift numbers and create the same bullshit that they do on Instagram. I can't fucking wait. I can't fucking wait to show them. Just watch me, bro. Just watch the stuff I create on Instagram, and if you pay attention, if you somehow stumble upon this, then you'll realize every time I post, I'm not posting for any other reason other than to learn something and get better at what I do. Instagram is a learning platform. It's for a place for me to test, try, and experiment and grow. YouTube is a place for me to put that down, put that skill down into something with value in it. And you're going to see how this works out. Trust me, I have this shit fucking figured out. It's just a matter of time. And I'm not doing the best I can right now, unfortunately. I am disappointed with myself. Straight up, I'm very disappointed with my work ethic as of recent. But things are falling into place. Things are very much falling into place. And I don't want to rush things. You know, I could say I can't wait. I can't wait to show everyone and point fingers. But I don't really care to do that. I'm really having fun right now, and that's what matters to me most. So, I really don't want to sound cocky. I really don't want to sound arrogant, because I know it's going to work out, but it could also not. It's not a matter of me not being good enough for it to ever work out. It's a matter of me never trying my hardest and never seeing it through as I see it. But it's just so clear in my mind. And because it's so clear, because I have a vision set so strong, it just, a lot frustrates me. A lot frustrates me, because I know exactly how it's hindering my experience, and now it's hindering my growth. So, and then my ego inflates, and it starts telling me don't take that bullshit. You gotta work harder. You gotta fucking, and it just starts. Anyways, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but look, I gotta go. People are calling me now. I really gotta go. But I'm sorry if I come off arrogant. I'm just really passionate about this shit. So, and I need an outlet to rant. Hopefully no one ever hears these because it's so fucking embarrassing. But I'm having fun. So, anyways, take care, guys. I gotta go. Ciao.